I realized I've been making a pretty big mistake when it comes to trying to just do everything at once. Um, so, trying to scale a company, working with my mentor to, learn sales, get better on the phone, that kind of stuff. Uh, and then at the same time, trying to build muscle, trying to marathon train, all this stuff. It really adds up. And I realized I basically put myself in this cycle of just constant decline. And what I mean by that is I would essentially expect myself to be able to perform at a level where I can run to the gym 5 days a week and expect myself to be able to run the whole way there, the whole way back. And it's like a mile and a half a total there and back. So not very much. Or no, it's like three and a half. One 1.5 miles there and then same back. But it really isn't a lot. But it really adds up with trying to train hard. And, like I've realized I don't eat enough. And basically what I mean by that is I was so focused on I just have to push through. I just have to keep going as fast as I can because I've always been kind of like the guy who would kind of sit back and just let things happen until I needed to get in there and fix something and perform or something like that. And I've really started shifting that into I'm always trying to do better, trying to perform, trying to increase what I'm doing, and that results in me expecting myself to be able to both physically and mentally just push onward 100%, no matter what. And I just a quick rundown. I essentially eat like 1,300 to 1,500 calories a day every day while trying to put on muscle, while running, while you know like trying to use this thing up here to learn and you know continue implementing new systems into my own business automations, trying to increase client, I guess, performance, things like that. And I got to a point where I could barely function because I was trying to do so many things that were so taxing at the same time without fueling myself properly. And I know this sounds like a really dumb thing and it's super obvious, but at the same time, I'm kind of realizing this is a trap I didn't really expect to fall into because at one point it was fine. And then I was just like, okay, good. We're just good to go for forever. And clearly that wasn't the case. Um, and the reason I'm making this video is because I realized you can't go full speed forever. And that's kind of a, you know, like a metaphorical thing and also a physical thing. Because when I ran my first marathon, I thought I could just go as fast as I possibly could and run half the race just that way without really, stopping or needing to stop. I was wrong. I had to sit down several times. I had to chill out, and it resulted in a lot of pain, even some mild injuries. And after that, I couldn't run for a month. And so essentially, this is a very dumb and kind of obvious lesson I've learned, but you just have to not only pace yourself, not just in running or lifting or whatever, but become more intentional about it. Because I was trying to do 5 workouts a week, thinking chest day, back day, rest day, and then chest day again. I would maximize the gains because my chest and back would have time to, rest, and before I would damage the muscle more. Except if you're half-assing the workout, there's no point in that, right? And I was half-assing the workout because I didn't have the energy to push through. And I've moved back to 3 workouts per week, just chest day, back day, and then leg day. And leg day is kind of like everything weekday, so shoulders and abs, things like that. Um, and I just got back from leg day, and holy, I could barely stand. Um, the run back from the gym was fun, but that's kind of what I'm realizing of if you're starting to build work ethic, if you're really starting to push in something and you see a good direction to go in, you shouldn't continue pushing at full speed all the time. You can push at full speed when you know how long you're going to be doing it for, when there's a very good outcome and a reason to do it, right? Like, for example, if you're trying to like make a change that will change the trajectory of, let's say, I don't know, your client acquisition or something like that. Like that kind of stuff is where you need to lock in for like a week, a month, however long. But then you need to slow back down, not to like procrastinate or anything like that, but to give yourself more intentional time to not just reset, but like also um, just exist a little bit. And what I mean by this is like, for example, like I would work, and then when I was done working, I would go work out. And then when I was done working out, I would come home, lay in my bed, and then watch videos about how to, like scale this thing or how this thing works, or Alex Ramosi video. And, I'm trying to jam as much information into my brain as I possibly could all day, every day. And when you have so much input and so little time to just chill out, like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like my brain has walled itself off from the rest of myself. And I've realized there's various issues to that, and I'm starting to fix them. But it all stems for just like the level of intentionality you put into something. And as much as I want to just flick a switch and become a machine that can just work 100% speed, 100% efficiency, all times, every day, it's just not realistic. And I've noticed like I would go like push really, really hard for like a week. Things would be going amazingly, and then I would just crash and burn for like a few days. And that I've realized all the problems. I wasn't eating very much, and partly because I was just like, I know I need to keep working, I need to keep going, and I need to always be doing something. So right now I'm just basically changing everything, eating more, like the quality of the things I'm eating are better now. Like I'm gonna be doing intentional breaks, so I'm gonna force myself to stop working after an hour or so that I can like just sit and like be in silence for a little bit, or kind of like recalibrate myself before I do the next thing. Um, that way I can kind of do a mental reset before I dive into the next thing. And when you start doing that, I've already been testing some of these things, and it's really hard to go from just always doing something to, okay, now we need to chill out. It's hard to do that because you're just not used to it. And that's what I'm forcing myself to do, which is really annoying. It's boring as hell, but I mean, if I want to perform at a level that is going to get me the most output for basically more leverage for the time I am using, not only will I get higher quality output, but also I'll feel better. I'll be able to actually put muscle on. Like right now, sure, I have a decent amount of muscle, but it's not anywhere near where I want to be. Like I remember I was bulking for a while. I got up to 155 weight pounds, and then I lost like all of it, and I'm back down to 144 because I've just been eating like 1,300 calories a day, basically every day. And the quality of the food I was eating was terrible. So now I'm fixing all of that. So that's just my rant for today. So if you made it through the whole thing, your attention span is insane. And congratulations, because you can really sit through something boring and unscripted like this. But yeah, just wanted to document this. Just wanted to show, like, you really don't need to always be pushing yourself to be at 100% at all times without the correct fuel. Sure, you can push yourself as hard as you can, just make it sustainable, because if it's not sustainable, you're going to crash and burn eventually. And the mistake I was making is I wasn't fueling myself properly, and I wasn't getting the correct sleep and rest. Like, I would cut my sleep to get more work done, and the time I was supposed to be sleeping, I ended up doing something else, and then I wasn't sleeping, and it's just basically an overload for your brain. So that's all I got for today. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I don't know, maybe maybe I'll actually start making some decent progress. Like right now, I'm in this phase of trial by error, and I'm gonna keep pushing, and I'm probably gonna continue making dumb mistakes like this. But to be honest, the only real way you learn is through experience. Like, sure, someone can tell you something, but you don't really feel its effect unless you feel it, right? So if someone can tell you you need to be eating this way for, X result, then you can be like, okay, that makes sense. But then until you start eating like fast food every day, you're gonna really feel that effect. And that's where I'm at right now. Like, sure, I've been told, yeah, man, you need to like eat properly, you need to sleep properly, but I was always like, yeah, yeah, that's obvious, right? But then I haven't been doing it, and here you go. So, like, yeah, I just wanted to document that because it's kind of a pivotal moment of like, I've started putting the pieces together, and now I have kind of planned out this thing that is sustainable, right? I even paid for like $8 a month or something cheap for a calorie tracking app. So I can just scan like a meal. It'll give me all the calorie stuff, and then it'll plug it in there so I don't have to do anything. That way I can actually like track it. That's how I know that the average meal I was having was only like 1,300, 400 calories a day, compared to like today I'm already at like 3,200 calories, and I'm gonna have another meal later on after I'm done working. So that's kind of what's going on right now, and yeah.